Urgent warning from Medjugorje. The Virgin Mary's revelation for the end of 2024. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. May this day be filled with the grace and peace of Christ as we dive into an urgent and transformative message that has recently emerged from the Virgin Mary in Medjugorje. With the year 2024 rapidly approaching its close, there is an increasing sense of urgency in the air as we are about to face a time of profound change. The message from the Virgin Mary serves as a sobering reminder of the difficulties that lie ahead, but it also carries a call for spiritual preparedness and faith. Let's explore this crucial revelation together so we can better understand what's coming and how we can prepare for it spiritually and physically. A time of profound change. The end of 2024 and beyond the world is changing at a pace that is hard to ignore, and as 2024 draws to a close, we are witnessing the early signs of a transformation that will touch every facet of our lives. In her most recent message, the Virgin Mary has shared that by the end of 2024, we will enter a period of intense challenges and upheaval. These events will affect not only the political and social fabric of our societies, but will deeply impact the spiritual and ecological foundations of our world as well. As we approach the end of this year, it's clear that we are on the precipice of a major turning point in human history. But while the changes ahead are undeniably difficult, they are not without purpose. According to the Virgin Mary, these tribulations are part of a larger divine plan. Though they may bring suffering, confusion, and uncertainty, they also offer us a precious opportunity. The chance to turn back to God, to rediscover love, compassion, and faith. This period of purification is a time to reflect on our choices, our values, and our relationship with the divine. A call for spiritual readiness. At the heart of the Virgin Mary's message is a call for spiritual readiness. She has made it clear that time is running out and that we must act quickly. As we prepare for the challenges ahead, it is imperative that we strengthen our relationship with God, fortify our faith, and bring peace and unity into our families and communities. The events that are to unfold will test the very core of our beliefs, values, and institutions. But if we remain steadfast in prayer and faith, we will not only endure but be purified through the trials. As Mary poignantly expressed in her message, the world is changing so quickly that it will be impossible to ignore by the end of 2024. Your nations, your families, and your beliefs will all be put to the test by these developments. The moment has come to prepare for what is ahead, both physically and spiritually. The time to act is now. Spiritual growth and preparation must be prioritized in these final months of 2024, for what comes next will test our ability to stay grounded in our faith and trust in God's plan. The power of prayer. Our shield and strength. The Virgin Mary has consistently emphasized the power of prayer as the greatest weapon in facing the trials ahead. In particular, she urges us to pray the Rosary daily, a devotion she has long championed through her apparitions in Medjugorje. The Rosary serves as a connection to the divine, offering us strength, protection, and guidance in turbulent times. It is a spiritual shield that shields us from the darkness and provides a direct link to God's mercy and love. As the world faces increasing confusion, chaos, and suffering, the Rosary will become our most powerful tool for protection. It is a daily prayer that can help us stay grounded in faith and maintain a sense of peace amidst the storms that are to come. In times of trial, we must remember that prayer, especially the Rosary, holds the power to transform our hearts, our families, and our communities. Through prayer, we can call on the Virgin Mary's intercession, asking for strength, wisdom, and guidance to navigate the coming challenges. Preparing physically and spiritually. While the Virgin Mary emphasizes the importance of spiritual readiness, she also acknowledges that the challenges ahead will have physical repercussions. The changes we face, whether they be political unrest, environmental disasters, or societal breakdowns, will require us to be prepared in practical ways as well. As part of our spiritual preparation, we are encouraged to act wisely and prudently in preparing for the future. This means strengthening our faith while also taking practical steps to ensure the well-being of ourselves and our loved ones. The Virgin Mary's message is clear. Both physical and spiritual preparation are necessary to endure the coming trials. By deepening our faith through prayer and the sacraments, while also taking necessary practical steps to care for our material needs, we will be ready to face whatever challenges arise. This is a time for unity, solidarity, and compassion as we prepare to come together as a community of believers. A time for reflection and renewal. This message from the Virgin Mary invites us to take stock of our lives and our priorities. As we approach the end of 2024, it is a time to ask ourselves, are we living according to our faith? Are we truly prepared to face the challenges that are coming? Are we ready to embrace the opportunity for spiritual renewal and conversion? The difficulties predicted for the end of 2024 and beyond are not intended to be a cause for fear, but rather a call to spiritual action. We are invited to reassess our values, to turn back to God, and to embrace His love in the face of adversity. This is a time for purification, where the faithful will have the chance to emerge stronger, more united, and more devoted to Christ. Hope amidst trials. In the end, the message of the Virgin Mary is one of hope. Yes, the trials we face will be severe, but they are not without purpose. These trials are an invitation to purify our hearts, to renew our relationship with God, and to embrace compassion and love as the means to overcome the darkness. While the events predicted are sobering, they also offer us the opportunity to turn our hearts back to God, and through prayer and unity, we will emerge stronger than ever. As we move forward, let us embrace the Rosary, commit to daily prayer, and strengthen our faith in God. Together, with the intercession of the Virgin Mary, we will face the coming challenges with courage, hope, and unwavering trust in God's plan. Thank you for joining me on this important reflection today. May the grace of Christ and the intercession of the Virgin Mary guide us as we prepare for the end of 2024 and the new year ahead. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to stay informed as we continue to explore these profound messages of faith. Let us walk this journey of faith together, ever hopeful, ever prayerful. In these turbulent times, the Virgin Mary calls us to face the challenges ahead with confidence and serenity. She reminds us of the critical importance of family, urging us to unite in love, understanding, and faith as the unshakable foundation of society. With the world undergoing profound changes, this unity within families will be crucial to resisting the forces of confusion and division that threaten to tear us apart. Through these trying moments, the strength of family bonds will act as a beacon, guiding us through the darkness. As we approach the end of 2024, the Virgin Mary has forewarned us of a series of transformative events that will deeply impact humanity. These events are not meant to instill fear, but to serve as a divine call for conversion, a reminder to return to God and reestablish our spiritual connection. The world has drifted far from its spiritual roots, and as a result, we will soon witness the consequences of this disconnection. Yet, in the face of these trials, Mary offers us hope and direction. Among the significant changes she foresees are increasing natural disasters, fires, floods, earthquakes, and storms, acts of nature that will serve as stark reminders of our broken relationship with both the environment and the divine. These events will be part of a larger purification process, calling us to recognize the consequences of our disregard for the earth and our spiritual health. As the natural world groans under the weight of human neglect, we are called to listen and turn back to God. Alongside these natural upheavals, we will experience escalating social and political unrest. Nations will face internal conflicts, and the divisions between people will widen, making it more difficult to maintain peace and understanding. Fear, anger, and despair will try to take hold of many, but the Virgin Mary assures us that those who remain faithful will find the strength to persevere. In these times, our faith will be tested, but it is precisely through this testing that our spiritual resolve will be refined. Despite the gravity of these forthcoming trials, the Virgin Mary's message is one of hope and renewal. She tells us that this period of hardship will also be a time of rebirth, growth, and spiritual transformation for those who are spiritually prepared. Rather than dwelling on despair, she encourages us to embrace this moment as an opportunity to deepen our faith, reflect on our lives, and renew our commitment to love, compassion, and charity. The difficulties ahead are not the end, but a beginning, a moment of grace for those who choose the path of light. In the face of adversity, we are called to embody love and kindness, for these are the qualities that will guide us through the darkness and bring us closer to God. The Virgin Mary reminds us that these challenges are not punishments, but rather divine invitations to purify our hearts, cast aside selfishness and consumerism, and realign our lives with spiritual principles. As we prepare for the trials to come, we are asked to look beyond ourselves and help uplift those around us. This is a battle for humanity's soul, and it is only through unity, prayer, and mutual support that we can withstand the forces of division, fear, and hopelessness. The Virgin Mary urges us to take action now, to protect not only our families but our communities as well. This includes being practical, ensuring that we are prepared for potential natural disasters by having emergency supplies on hand and being aware of evacuation routes. Spiritual preparedness is essential, but so too is the need for practical steps to safeguard our loved ones and those we can reach. The Virgin Mary's message is clear. While the road ahead will be fraught with challenges, it is also paved with opportunities for grace, redemption, and transformation. We must rise together in faith, love, and action to weather the storms that lie ahead. And through it all, we will emerge stronger, more united, and with a deeper connection to God. Preparing for 2024, spiritual and physical readiness for what lies ahead as we approach the end of 2024. The call for preparation, both spiritually and physically, becomes more urgent. It is not enough to prepare ourselves for the challenges that may come in the future. We must also prepare our homes, our hearts, and our families to weather the storms ahead. The Virgin Mary has continually emphasized that our readiness is a reflection of our responsibility and concern for those we love. This is a time to shield ourselves and our families from harm, both material and spiritual, and to build a foundation of faith and unity that will protect us through the trials to come. Spiritual preparation, strengthening hearts and families in the months leading up to the end of 2024. The Virgin Mary calls us to fortify our family bonds and to create a supportive and loving atmosphere within our homes. This is not just for our physical protection, but also for our spiritual well-being. As the world experiences upheaval, families will become both a target and a source of resilience. The forces that wish to divide and weaken us will do everything in their power to break apart the very institutions that hold society together, namely the family. The Virgin Mary warned that evil forces will seek to destroy families because they are the source of strength and stability. But through unity, love, and prayer, families can create a spiritual stronghold that will serve as a shield, keeping them safe during these turbulent times. The spiritual renewal within the family is not just about avoiding external threats, but also about healing internally. The Virgin Mary urges us to look within and prepare our hearts. Conversion is a key part of our readiness. This involves repenting from our bad habits, reconciliation with those we have wronged, and striving to live according to Christ's teachings. Humility, kindness, and forgiveness must define our actions, helping us reconnect with God's divine plan and reinforcing the spiritual strength needed for the days ahead. The call for conversion, a time for personal transformation. The Virgin Mary's message is clear. Conversion must be at the heart of our preparations. We are urged to take stock of our lives, to cleanse our hearts, and to rid ourselves of anything that distances us from God's will. This is a time for personal reflection, a time to make amends with others and to restore broken relationships. In doing so, we unite ourselves with the divine and strengthen our souls for the challenges that lie ahead. Spiritual fortification will be essential as the world faces both external turmoil and internal crises of faith. In these times of adversity, the Virgin Mary assures us that there is still hope. Even as the world appears to be descending into darkness, those who remain faithful and steadfast will experience spiritual growth and revelation. While the world around us may seem chaotic, it is important to remember that this purification is part of a greater divine plan. It is through these trials that we will be strengthened and transformed, provided we hold to faith and trust in God's guidance. Family unity, the heart of protection. Family unity is central to surviving the turbulent times ahead. The Virgin Mary has urged us to keep our families close, to stand together in love and support. The strength of the family unit will be a powerful defense against the forces that wish to divide and conquer. By nurturing an environment of mutual care, prayer, and compassion, we can create a sanctuary where we protect not only each other physically, but also spiritually. The family, as a reflection of the Holy Family, is meant to be a place of safety and nurturing. In a world that seems increasingly fractured, it is essential that we return to this foundation. The Virgin Mary calls us to guard our relationships, to protect the spiritual health of our homes, and to cultivate an atmosphere of love and faith. Prayer, especially the Rosary, becomes the glue that binds the family together, ensuring that we remain spiritually strong and united in the face of uncertainty. Embracing the purification, a path to rebirth despite the difficulties that lie ahead, the Virgin Mary assures us that this time of adversity is not meant to overwhelm us, but to purify and renew us. This purification, while painful, is ultimately a blessing, a chance for spiritual rebirth. The end of 2024 may indeed bring hardships, but it also brings with it an opportunity for us to rediscover what is truly important: love, compassion, faith, and charity. These are the values that will carry us through and help us to emerge from the darkness with a deeper understanding of God's purpose for our lives. The Virgin Mary reminds us that we can choose the path of light, even when darkness surrounds us. By holding to these principles and by embracing the coming purification, we will not only survive but thrive spiritually, emerging stronger and more attuned to God's will. Faith, hope, and love will be our guide. The path ahead, faith, action, and love as we prepare for what is to come. The Virgin Mary's message is clear. The time to act is now. Our preparation, both spiritual and practical, will determine how we respond to the challenges ahead. Spiritual renewal is not enough by itself. We must also take practical steps to ensure the safety and well-being of our loved ones. Emergency preparedness, practical provisions, and community action are all part of the equation. Yet, even as we prepare physically, we must never lose sight of the spiritual foundation that will carry us through. Through prayer, unity, and love, we will not only face the trials ahead, but will become instruments of hope and light for the world. The Virgin Mary calls us to action, to prepare our hearts, our homes, and our communities. As we walk this path of faith, let us remember that God's plan is unfolding, and with prayer, unity, and compassion, we will triumph over the darkness. Thank you for joining me in reflecting on this vital message of preparation. Together, through faith, love, and prayer, we will rise to meet the challenges ahead. May the Virgin Mary's intercession guide us all in this journey of spiritual renewal and hope.